Mayor Pro Tem, do you mind doing the pledge? I had askings, but
Yeah, I saw the message. I was like,
yeah, since it's gonna be his last, but something came up at work.
oh, okay. So she's right.
Good, good, good. Good evening. Shamike. Everybody's mic is on. Okay. It is 6 p.m. Good evening, everyone. I am Mayor Yamika Robinson, and I am calling this meeting to order, a regular City Council meeting, Tuesday, December 10, 2024. I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of our city of Lake City, South Carolina. I will ask for everyone and anyone who has cell phones to please silence them or turn them off during the meeting. Thank you. Our invocation will be led by Councilwoman Scott, and our pledge will be led tonight by Mayor Pro Tem Singletary. Please stand.
Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you, dear God, for another year. At the end, for the last meeting for 2024, we thank you, dear God, for the season, for Christmas that coming up, for the celebration. We pray to Heavenly Father, you will keep us safe as we go about our daily life. Bless everyone that here tonight. Bless all the ones that are not here. Most of all, bless our community. Bless the city of Lake City. Bless all the elected officials around and about. Bless this world, because we're living in a time we all need prayer. We pray that Heavenly Father continue, Lord, to keep us safe, keep us under your blood. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. Thank you, Councilwoman Scott. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Singletary. Madam Clerk, can you please poll the City Council members?
Yes. Mayor Yamika Robinson.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Nicole Singletary.
Present.
Councilmember William Scott.
Present.
Councilmember William Askins. Councilmember DeWanica Cooper.
Present.
Councilmember Sandra Fleming Crosby. Present on the phone. Councilmember Jason Brown.
Present.
Mayor Robinson, I find there to be a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as printed?
So moved.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes, approval of the minutes from the mayor and council meeting, November 7th, 2024?
Move to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Thank you. Next on our agenda, we have a platform for our young people addressing the mayor and council. And tonight, we welcome the youth of the Ladies Leadership Club from Lake City High School and J. Paul True Luck. You can please come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First, I'd like to say thank you, Mayor and Council, for building this platform for our young people. They do need a place where their voice can be heard.
Thank you.
This is our ladies club. If you all would come forward, please. This is our first year actually having a ladies club at Lake City High School and J. Paul True Love. And so we kind of winging it, but we're trying to do some good things to build up our youth, especially our ladies, so they can be leaders coming forward.
Can you introduce yourself?
I am Tatum Fox.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kyria Miller. I'm a sophomore at Lake City High School. Some of y'all might know me from Mother Latoya Miller. or because I'm a cheerleader or a dancer, but today I'm only a lady in the leadership club. So some people might look at the leadership club, be like, oh, we corny, or oh, we not leaders, but we try to hold ourselves accountable so we can enhance our leadership skills. And so we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard than the cheerleaders, than the dancers, than the band. So we all have to lead the school, and we try our best to do so, especially in high school and going through high school. You know, it's hard, and we have each other to rely on each other. So we know if we ever having a bad day, we can all come together and we just find peace. So far throughout the community, we went to South Carolina State. We just last month we had a canned good drive, and we passed out to the people who might not have a hot meal for Thanksgiving or Christmas. We did that, and it was real early in the morning. We was real dedicated. So we got up real early and we packed that stuff out. We bagged it up, handed it out, put with smiles on our faces because we're leaders. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Greetings, everyone. My name is Logan McKnight. I'm a sophomore at City High School, and I'm here to thank you, Ms. Yamika Robinson, for being attentive in our community as young women. Thank you for being a leader for myself, for your daughters, for our community as a whole. And we have two gifts to present you that we all can love and be happy.
Oh,
So if you don't mind, if you come down.
okay. Thank you. Thank you so, oh, come around, come around. Thank you so much. I give hugs. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
This way. All right.
Can we get a little picture?
Yeah. Fantastic. Come on in.
Okay. I think Jonathan's gonna.
Good.
Thank you, ladies, so much. I really do appreciate this. And I appreciate you being the leader that you are all in. We can turn this way. He's going to take it this way.
All right, y'all ready?
Everybody's being seen? Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. It is so great to see our young people being leaders in our community, because they are our leaders for today, not just for the future, but for today. So I commend you, and keep doing what you're doing. If there's anything that the city of Lake City, the council members, mayor, myself, can do for you, please don't ever hesitate to contact us, because we are here for you. We want to see you succeed. Okay? Thank you. Next, we have presentations. We have Trees for South Carolina presentation from Ms. Kayla Hodge and Lisa Jones.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is really my first formal public speaking, so if my voice gets shaky, I apologize. So I'm here to talk about the Trees for SC cohort and exactly what it is. So the Trees for SC is a grant that's funded by the Inflation Reduction Act through Joe Biden. The South Carolina Forestry Commission used those funds to create the Trees for SC program. The Forestry Commission, Green Infrastructure Center, and city recipients work together to assess our tree canopy and develop a plan to maintain it. The outlook of this grant is to fund the South Carolina Forestry. It was funded by the South Carolina Forestry Commission, and a multiple disciplinary team worked with Green Infrastructure Center and community stakeholders to map the city's tree canopy and to assess the city's policy regarding trees. The Green Infrastructure Center was formed in 2006 to help local government and communities and regional planning organizations to evaluate their green infrastructure assets and make plans to conserve them. The staff work as a team to help localities inventory their assets and create strategies for the conservation and restoration of the trees. The Green Infrastructure has been working with us to map the city's current tree canopy, ordinance assessment, and the city's tree data. We also identified some planting locations. We worked with the city to develop tree planting strategies and also to develop a long-term strategy to upkeep the city's tree canopy. Yep. So some benefits of trees is, they act as buffers for noise, dust. They filter the air. They also help with erosion and water retention. Okay, so Lake City's current tree canopy is roughly 40% out of the 3,388 parcels that we have in the city. 820 parcels have 10% or less tree canopy. Of those, 497 have the potential to increase their tree canopy by 20%. So, we're looking to plant trees on these locations. The green that you see on the screen is your current tree canopy. The orange, the small little orange places, are the potential places that we could plant. Next. So we had a community forum where the community got to voice what they would like to see. So we asked a question: which benefits of trees are most important to you? The community was more interested in cleaner air, cleaner water, less flooding, cooler temperatures, and wildlife habitat. The strategies that they would like to see for this to be implemented is to plant at least one tree downtown on Arbor Day each year. Another is to plant trees in community spaces. Restart the tree board to help care and educate the citizens about trees, and develop a forest youth corps to plant and take care of trees, as well as protecting the trees that we already have. So our goals for this, the goals for this grant is to maintain the city's current tree canopy of 40%, and in the future we look to possibly increase it by 1 to 2%. That sounds very small, but when you're talking about growth and development, they tend to take trees away, not necessarily add them. So as we get bigger, our tree canopy may get smaller. So we're trying to look to, create a buffer for that. The Lake City team would like to give appreciation to the South Carolina Forestry Commission, as well as the Green Infrastructure Center and Moore Botanical Farms, who has been helping us through this process. We would like to thank each of them for their time, expertise, and their support. And I'm finished.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Kayla Hodge and Ms. Lisa Jones, for that presentation about trees. I think that day we actually gave out some trees, if I'm not mistaken. How many trees did we give out to the community?
We've given about 20 if we add from the first giveaway and the one that we just had last week. We look to have another in January.
Okay.
I was supposed to mention that.
Okay. Well, everybody, just stay tuned for if you want a tree, because we know how important trees are to our community, to our environment, and for us. And we will definitely be giving out more trees for our community. Thank you again. Next, we have public comment period. Comments are limited to 2 minutes per person, and no personal or verbal attacks will be entertained. The council is interested in hearing your concerns, but speakers should not expect council action or deliberation on subject matters brought up during the public comment period. Topics requiring further investigation will be referred to the city administration and may be scheduled for a future agenda. Please make sure to sign in and leave your name and address for the record with the city clerk to council.
My name is LaRue Alford from Lake City. And my concerns is to the mayor and city council members. That me?
I think you're good.
Okay. My concerns are, where do we go from here? After our last fiasco at the last city council meeting, I'm asking mayor and council, where do we go from here? After our last mayor and city council meeting, none of our comments, period, was adhered to. No 2-minute periods, no sign-ups. Our council members was answering questions to the audience. Our mayor, council members were screaming at their constituents. It really looked bad. I know it looked bad on Facebook. I know it looked bad to the citizens in the audience. The 2-minute clock, that got to go out the door, because everyone who talked last week, they talked over the 2-minute period. Not the mayor, not the councilman said anything. Looked real embarrassing. The mayor even made the comment when the guys was up here speaking about the houses. How did it look to people who was here to see Lake City act the way we did? All these things y'all had down. Council members would not talk or would not answer questions. Nobody would answer questions. But last week, everybody was talking out in the audience. Y'all was asking questions. The audience was asking y'all questions. It was just a fiasco. So mayor and council members, I'm asking y'all, on behalf of other citizens who's not here tonight and people that's on Facebook, what does that 2-minute clock mean up there now, because it's out the door, because y'all allow people to go 5 and 10 minutes and talk. Nobody shut them down. Nobody signed up last week to say anything on this paper. So, mayor, council members, y'all were able to talk last week to answer questions. So let me know tonight, where is mayor and council members going? Thank you.
My name is Samantha Jones. I live at 218 Wilbur Street. There's a hole in the street, and during the summer, they were supposed to come because of water and everything in the street. They were supposed to come and fix the street. So the 1st of October, I think, but the middle of October, they came and they fixed the street. So the 1st of November, the street looks like they never fixed it. It's holes in the street again, and water. So they had about 15 people out there fixing the street. So I mean, how could you leave the street? I have some pictures. How could you leave the street like you never fixed the street? So that's my concern. And then my grandson run over the hole. He broke the axle on his car. So that's another concern. But the main thing is them coming and fixing the street. Why would anybody come, 15 people, to fix a street and leave the street worse than what it was? That's what I can't understand. 218 Wilbur Street. I have people in here go up and down Wilbur Street all day, and they can tell you about Wilbur Street.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Judicial Jones. I live at 302 Scott Street. I still have concerns from the last council meeting that we had. Of course, just like Mr. LaRue said, we didn't get any answers from any questions that we asked. There were a lot of questions that was answered, will try to be answered after the meeting. And I even asked, I kept asking the question, why? And I heard from several people saying that the mayor went to part-time because of the fact that she don't do anything. or that she stays at the schools more than she stays in her office. Well, it's okay that she stays at the school. I think it's wonderful that she's at school. We should have a partnership between the city and the schools. That's the reason why the ladies club was here today. Before any of this happened, she always called and she wants our student government to be involved. So if she's not doing the work and you guys have put her to part-time, so I guess it's time for the councils to do the work. So I live in District 4. When I say work, I have a neighbor. I have neighbors that's right beside me who lights has been out for 4 months. Nobody have checked on them except for the neighbors. They don't have the money. But there is nobody in the city. We're not doing anything to help people like this. I have a neighbor whose wife is sick and now he's sick. The trash is at the door. By the time I could get back home today from work, to put the trash to the road for them, the trash was already gone. But we have this thing stated that if your trash is not 2 meters away from the street, or we're not going to dump it. But they have to send in a letter if they disabled. Well, what if they just sick? So if we got councilmen or councilwomen that is in these districts and these things are going on, then it's time for us to start working. I have several other things, and I get the 2 minutes. I have several other things, and I can hold until the next meeting. But we have abandoned houses that you need to find out, and something needs to be done with them. We've had people to die in the abandoned houses because they're homeless. We don't have any place for the homeless to go, so they go into the abandoned houses. They freeze to death, or maybe they're doing drugs. I don't know, but they're dying in the abandoned houses. So since the mayor is part-time and she wasn't doing any work,
Ms. Jones,
it's time
2 minutes.
it's time for everybody to start doing their job.
Thank
So
you.
I'll be back next meeting.
Thank you. Any other comments for public comment period? Next, we'll go to legislative. Mr. Hall, City Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for your consideration. Ordinance number 2024.010, second reading. An ordinance of the City of Lake City, South Carolina, authorizing the city to transfer and sale of property to private developer for the purpose of providing workforce housing and other matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve ordinance 2024.010 for second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions, council?
On this one.
Can't participate.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
When you look at the location, the reason that we made the decision to vote first reading uninformed. And after second thought and hindsight and having time to think about the vote we made, I think we should have thought more about it. And as a result, if this were to come to fruition, if you were to look at that area, that is swamp area. And I think in the beginning, for the private investor, for the city to give that to him, this private investor will be gaining substantially. And I think in the say maybe the next couple of years, if these houses were to go up, it would be an economic disadvantage to the prospective buyers or purchasers. Because that location is swamp area. And if you want to look at the outlining area, I don't know if you have a map up or not, but if a house or houses are built there, these people will suffer financially. Number one, Lake City does not lend itself, and it stands for workforce housing, right? Lake City, as it stands now, does not have industry or businesses to support a $170,000 investment. And we look at the size of the homes and the size of the lots, you're not getting anything. Those people will be piled on top of each other. And with that being a flood area, they will not be able to get flood insurance. And we do not know what the future will hold in terms of global warming. Here again, if you were to process this, and I'm trying to paint a picture where you can understand what I'm saying, because I think it would be a detriment to the prospective homeowners in no time. God forbid, say if you have a income household, if they were to lose a job or what have you, then the house will possibly go up into foreclosure. What happens then? And then with building those houses there, with the existing homes right in that area on Lake Street, it's going to cause the property taxes to increase for the few homeowners you have in that area. And with the incomes, these people are going to end up losing in the end. And so in good conscience, I cannot for the life of me make a decision to have these people sign a mortgage in an area that is already, it really needs to be condemned, if that's the right word. I don't know the right word to use right now. But I think it will not be good for these people in the long run. And therefore, I'm asking for those of you who want to vote for it, you vote for it. But I think you need to rethink this, because, and then I'm going to recommend and suggest in the future. Now, this is coming under an ordinance. Like I said, we already done first reading. I don't think second reading needs to happen, because it's not in the best interest of the people who will be purchasing these homes. Therefore, I'm going to suggest and recommend that this ordinance 2024.010 does not appear on any agenda in the form of an ordinance or a proclamation in the city of Lake City, South Carolina, period. That, does not appear at all. Because when you think about it.
Councilwoman Crosby? If I may say, this is Mayor Robinson. If I may say, since you are participating on the phone by remotely, you cannot, and it's stated in our ordinance that you cannot participate or have a right to vote in this meeting.
Now, my understanding is that I can participate but not have a right to vote.
No, ma'am, it says remote virtually means shall not participate in the meeting and shall not have a right to vote.
Well, I think that ordinance needs to be redacted, because when you
Well, at this moment, Councilwoman Crosby, it is in place.
Voted on that ordinance.
It is in place right now.
Put in place, excuse me, let me finish, please. When that ordinance was put in place, that was your first year serving as mayor. And at that time, I thought the ordinance was the ordinance made no sense. And anyway, why would you as a council person vote to weaken your position as a council person when you are supposed to be a representative of the community? Think about that. All of you voted on that, minus myself. So it needs to be redacted, abolished.
Councilwoman Crosby, we need to proceed. We are going to proceed. So I'm asking you politely that we're going to proceed with this right now, okay?
But I have no problems with you proceeding, but I need to show the people something in writing that this thing says I cannot participate. I'm supposed to be a representative of the community. You all voted on that. I did not.
Do
So
any
how
other
can you
council
tell me
members
that I
have
cannot participate
any other
when
questions?
the people voted on me to serve to
I could
represent
agree with
them?
her on
I'm not
the
about
flood
trying
issue over
to
there.
demean
With that
Councilwoman
or impugn my
Crosby,
integrity.
Councilwoman Crosby, I am politely asking you one last time.
You said what you have to say. I said what I have to say. But in the best interest of all people or prospective purchases, this is not a good idea, a good decision, period.
Councilman Brown.
All right. I could contest what she's saying with the flood issue. I live over there in that district. With that property there, it was a warehouse there, and I can remember as a young fellow, water being all in the warehouse, and with them houses being built on a slab on the ground and not off the ground. I could see people who invest in that later on down the road will be tremendously disheartened if they don't have flood insurance or anything like that. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to go with a no with that on my perspective. Because I wouldn't want anyone to invest their money into a piece of property, into a home, and 50 years from now, 25 years from now, we get a tremendous rain and flood out. So, and I live in that district. I could honestly say so. I know where she's coming from with the flood issue, and that property is surrounding low land over there. So, I'm gonna have to say no on that one.
Any other questions or concern from council members? If you need any other information tonight, I do have our economic development coordinator here, Mr. Luke Garbo.
Can we also share that we're not selling, the entire property is not going, the city is retaining the back part plus an easement to get into the back part for the sewer and the storm drain, because that's the area that the storm drain is going to be going in behind Walmart.
And I completely understand what you say, Mr. Williams, because back there, that back ditch back there, it's a lot of work that's need to be done back there. And before
That's why we're going to maintain the ownership of it.
And before we give that property to someone, to let someone build on there, let's try to get ourselves together so in future reference, nobody have issues. The drainage issue would be good, the sewer issue would be good and all. So on my perspective, let's hold off on that and look at that at a later date.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Will the Ackline stormwater drainage?
Good business venture for
Councilwoman Crosby.
For the investor, yes. Financial gain immediately.
I'm sorry. I'll take the fall for that.
Fiasco.
Just click off. I'm sorry. Yes. If I'm not wrong, let me know if I'm wrong. Would the Ackline stormwater drainage project actually support or help that area as well?
It will help divert the water into a specific area. Being an engineer, I can't specifically say yes or no, but from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from everyone that's involved with the Ackline storm drain, the path that they're taking will help divert that to a different area away from that back.
Okay.
It has more control of where the water's going.
Okay.
Yeah.
But isn't to build, it have to be approved, do DHEC requirement for building? You just don't build, we just can't imagine we going to build a house. When it comes to driving out Thomas Street, everybody over there should need a boat.
Who you?
But that's already existing property. I wouldn't want to go put property, invest in property, and we having somewhat of an issue with draining. When you already got houses already existing over there, where you talking about on Thomas Street. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to go put something brand new and later on down the road where we could go ahead and work on this project that we got going on with the drainage issue. Once we get all that stuff squared away, then we can come back and look at it. But until then, let's make sure we got everything in, all our ducks in a row. That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Galbo, would you have anything to add on that?
Do I have permission to speak?
Yes.
Right. Oh, yeah. So, I'm Luke Godbold. I'm the Economic Development Coordinator for the city. This project has already gone before the Planning Commission. We reviewed the floodplains. We have the developer here with us today. They're actually going to come in and bring the property up several inches with dirt. We actually have already looked at the flooding issues, and Adam Martin, who's one of the developers, is a big-time insurance salesman in Florence. I mean, that's what he does as his primary occupation. He seems to think there will be no problem obtaining flood insurance for that parcel, considering that it is not in a floodplain. It butts up to a floodplain, but like Mr. Hall said, we will be retaining the area that is in the floodplain because we have sewer that runs back there. So the lots will be subdivided into 5 individual lots and sold as single-family homes. I think someone mentioned that they're right up on top of each other. They're zoned R3, and they meet all the setback requirements and all the other requirements for R3. So we have done our due diligence on that side of things. And one thing I would like to add is, this is my job to recruit developers and do the due diligence, and I can assure you that we have done that. We have to, at this point in the process, we got 7 votes during the first reading. What does this say about the city of Lake City for us to get the second reading, have the developer come to Lake City 5 times already for meetings and whatnot, and then us shoot it down at second reading? I'm not going to be able to do my job. I'm not going to be able to recruit developers to Lake City if this is how it's going to be. And I'll leave it at that.
Like I said, I live over there in that district. I know the issues that we have when it comes to raining, because the water backs all the way up from the swamp all the way back up the Valley Street. So the developers could come in there and say they're gonna do one thing and don't do what needs to be done. You get what I'm saying? Because yes, they could go build up over here, but you got to think about all the other residents that the water's gonna go back down that hill to. You follow me? You get where I'm coming from?
There's no residents.
It's a house right next door.
Yeah, but that goes down into the swamp behind both of those parcels. I'm very familiar
Okay.
with how that's laid out.
All right. No deal.
Any other comments or concerns?
We have the developer here if they'd like to ask.
Would you,
Can I just stand here and do it?
yeah, can you speak loud enough?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate y'all's concerns, and some of them are valid, but we're professionals that do this for a living. No way in God's green earth do you go build a house that where the water runs, you go through it. You have to meet elevation standards. You grade yards from front to back, so when it rains, it doesn't go through the house, it goes to your point of exit. As far as flood insurance goes, it will not be required to get a mortgage because the lots are no parcel in a flood zone. If you wanted to obtain flood insurance, it's regulated by the federal government, it's $247 a year for a house of that stature. I mean, the water is a non-issue getting them off of those lots. If in order for it to get in the house, that giant ditch has got to have 50 foot of water in it. You set the crown of the road in front. You know what the crown of the road is at the highest point. You take a transit and you go up 6 inches above that crown to the base level of your house. So, as far as water getting in the house, I don't know how it could do it. It's like I said, the houses are not in a flood zone. The setback requirements are all being met with what your current regulations are now. None of that's being altered. So we're just trying to come and find some housing. It costs us to do what we're going to do. This is our money. We're not asking the city of Lake City or nobody's providing funds, but other than y'all's sell of property.
Property.
That's the only thing Lake City is involved in. We're taking the risk with the money in the houses on the properties. So we're the ones. If something's not built right, guess who they come back to?
us. We have to have insurance and all that to guard ourselves. So I appreciate your concerns, and whatever you all decide, you all decide. But as far as the issue with the water, that's a non-issue. Is all, and thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Thank you. With everything that's been said, everything been heard, any other questions, concerns? If none,
I have a concern.
Okay.
So he just said that if there's an issue, it comes back to him. But if there's an issue and somebody already bought it, it's the buyer's issue.
We have to maintain a level of insurance and bonds on houses for so many years. It's insane, the things we have to protect ourselves against. I promise you, for water to get inside those houses, it's got to be that deep in the street out front.
Okay, and then you also were talking about building the houses up. But if there is a big rain, or a massive flood or anything in that area, being that, you know, the people that live over there already know the circumstances that they have dealt with in the past, you know, what will happen, you know, if you build it up and then it washes away?
It ain't gonna wash away.
You sure?
Yeah, positive. Yes, ma'am. That's what we do. I'm sure.
okay. All in favor, show of hands. Any opposed?
Mayor and Council, for your consideration, Resolution 2024.049, final reading. A resolution authorizing the following 2025 holiday schedule and all other matters related thereto, 16 days of holidays for 2025.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2024.049 for final reading.
Move to approve Resolution 2024.049 for final reading.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Any opposed? None. Okay.
Mayor and Council, for your consideration, Resolution 2024.050, final reading. A resolution from the City of Lake City seeking approval of the quote received from Southern Vac to go forward to purchase a 3-stage blower assembly, including the travel and on-site labor to fix and repair the vac truck and all matters related thereto.
Need a motion to approve Resolution 2024.050 for final reading.
Move to approve Resolution 2024.050 for final reading.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions or discussion, council?
What is the 3-stage blower system?
It is you remember the back truck that we used to suck the sewage out of when we were repairing over there for Lake Street?
Mm-hmm.
The big fan that's at the very big front of it, it's completely burnt out. It's seen its days.
Okay.
That truck's how old, Ricky?
It's 10 years old.
Right at 10 years old.
Has 2,500 operating hours on it.
Okay.
So that big fan that makes the sucking part go, it's gone.
Okay.
And this is a sole source based on the truck.
Yeah. I got you.
Any other questions?
Where's he traveling from? Well, from Gilbert.
Rick, is this gentleman coming from Gilbert?
That's what it said, city versus equipment. Or is this different?
Is the repairman coming from Gilbert or someplace else that's representing Southern Vac?
I think their shop may be out of Lexington.
Lexington.
All right, so the city is gonna be paying for the travel. How long is it supposed to take for them to repair it?
They charge for travel time.
Well, what's the repair turnaround? Because they have to order these, right?
Yeah, it is maybe 3 to 4 weeks.
So you're talking about a month? Once we sign this and say move forward?
And this is the only place that we could have, this is the best estimate that we could have gotten?
Sole source for the truck.
Will it take them like a day or two, Mr. Ricky, to prepare the truck, fix the truck?
Once they get everything together, they can make them repair it in a day.
A day, okay.
They'll have to repair it in our shop, there's some trucks and all that now. It's a frame, it's a large truck, they have to bring it to work on.
Okay. Well, it's something that we need.
That truck's about a $275,000, $300,000 truck.
Yeah.
That's a high maintenance.
Yeah, we need it.
It's definitely much needed.
Yeah.
I agree.
Stormwater and sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands. Thank you.
Mayor and council, the financial report for the month ending November 30th, for the general fund, we have revenues of $2,208,000. We have expenditures of $4,003,000, overspent by $2,001,000. I will again say that our taxes are received in the rears, so we don't have all our revenue going into the current month, but we're paying our bills from the current month. In the water fund, we have revenue of $846, and expenses of $632, a surplus of $214. In the sewer fund, we have revenue of $1,495,000, expenses of $1,364,000, a surplus of $131. In the stormwater, $91,000, expenses of $20,000, surplus of $70. For the reserve account, the year-to-date for water is $104,500. For the reserve account, the year-to-date is $102,200. Mayor and council, for your consideration, I present to you bills 1 through 10 for your approval.
Need a motion to approve bills items 1 through 10 for December 10, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
It has been properly moved in second. Any questions, council? If none, all in favor, show of hands.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Mayor and Council, as promised, we have sold 2 of the houses, and the money is in the bank account. We also have contract on the 3rd house, 423 Carver Street, for a cash sale to close by January 20th. This shows where the money is in the bank. We also have 2 forfeitures where they had to back out of the sale for one reason or another. So right now, we have $262,247 from the seller and forfeitures of those homes in the bank.
Thank you.
Sorry?
What's the timeframe for the other 2 houses?
We're working on that right this minute. We got the lawyers and the state built, the inspectors involved in it at this moment. We understand that the developer is in the hospital.
The developer? The
That's-
guy that was actually building the houses?
That's right. That's why we're following up on it.
How long we been in the process with these houses?
21?
2 years, almost 2 years.
It was 21, right?
21, when you got elected in 22, that's when we
22.
actually started.
So, and they're gonna be running around 150 as well?
When-
130?
Well, at this, we sold them for various prices based on the market. At this moment, they're selling for about 140, 142. So, the other thing is, since no questions, any further questions, I wish to share this with you since someone made a comment, and I agree. I do not publish this for the protection of my home.
Thank you.
That will
Okay.
take us through the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and council, I'm going to turn this over to Chief Miles. Yes, you're on.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You see a lot of the members of the police department in attendance tonight. We had a staff meeting today just before council meeting, and I asked them to hang over, just simply so you guys can see their faces. We are nearly full. We interviewed a guy today, and if we move forward with hiring him at the conclusion of his background investigation, he will be hired by Friday. That will leave us with 2 positions empty, and that is it. We would be full, but however, we did have 3 fell out of the Criminal Justice Academy, and that's kind of, we don't teach those classes at the academy, so once you fail their standard, you're done, especially if you fail 2. In fact, if you fail twice, you can't go back for a calendar year. So we regrouped, and if we hire that guy Friday, then it's only 2 that we'll be down. And this is the bulk of the department. We have 39 positions that are currently full, with 2 that are empty, 2 that are vacant, pending to hire the individual, hopefully Friday. In that leaves us with 41 total positions for the police department. It was 40, however, we absorbed the building and codes position and kind of changed the dynamics of that a little bit to animal control / building and codes. So she does both. That's Jordan McCants. Is she here? That's her standing back there. She was already hired in one of our class 3 positions. We just transferred her over. She showed an interest in it, and she was moved to that position. And she's already been in the field working. We were chasing down some stray dogs today.
So that's the person to call, you all. We're back at.
We will put out her phone number.
With the stray dogs and. Yes.
Yeah, and she also has legal authority as well. She has arrest powers and all that good stuff.
Can you give her number?
I will.
Okay.
I'll actually ask her to stand up and give it in just a few minutes. And you can call her day or night, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. All those calls go to her. So they go straight to her. I wanted to do something a little bit different because this is the last time council will be meeting this calendar year. So I wanted to do a yearly statistics from January 1 of 24 to December 10th of 24 to give you guys those numbers. So to date, we're at 17,516 calls for service for our community in Lake City. We're projecting that to be between right at about 19.5 by the time the year is actually up. So that goes in line with what we've projected all year long. So out of that 17,516, that's 5,098 traffic stops, 681 burglar alarm calls, 382 domestic violence calls, 578 follow-ups, 5,833 property checks. 313 suspicious person calls, 103 traffic accidents, 225 disorderly conduct calls, 248 suspicious vehicles, 132 vandalism calls, 246 harassment and threatening calls, 272 warrant service calls, 97 assault calls, 166 larceny calls, 83 shooting calls, 94 break-ins, and 206 trespassing calls. Now that's the total number for 17,516. That's not the total number of incidents that they actually deal with on a yearly basis. That number is much, much higher. Because every time we deal with somebody, there's a lot of times we're just simply sitting somewhere. Someone will come up to us and we have to get involved some way, shape, or form, whether it's answering a question or going further into it. So out of those 5,098 traffic stops, they issued 1,635 traffic tickets for that date and time, or for during this duration. If that don't show you that the police officers of Lake City is not dealing with the public in a respectful and courteous manner and trying to educate the general public on the moving violations that we see within the city, I don't know what does. Because when you stop 5,098 cars and you only write 1,635 traffic tickets. That goes to show you got a department that's willing to work with the community they serve when it comes to traffic violations. And I think that speaks volumes. So out of that, the 1,600 tickets that was issued, 367 of them were vehicle violations, vehicle license violations, 95 simple possessions of marijuana, 146 speeding tickets were issued, 84 operating uninsured, 200 driver's license violations, 217 driving under suspensions, and 34 DUIs for the year. We expect that number to go up a little bit over the holidays, but it's going to roughly stay about the same. We've done 1,913 incident reports. There were 370 incidents that required the arrest of an individual. There were 600 arrest warrants issued and 538 arrest warrants served. Again, that shows they're doing their job. Because it would be very easy to still be 12 people short or 15 people short, have 600 arrest warrants issued and 130 something served. So most of the warrants that we had issued, we ended up serving. And out of that, there were 136 juvenile incidents where a juvenile was either dealt with through family court or in other ways, and 1,777 adult violations. Those are the yearly statistics for this. And again, I said a minute ago, we're 39 officers strong right now with 2 vacant positions. We absorbed 1 from building and codes. That took us to 41 positions total. I hope to be full by the end of the year. That's still my goal, so I'm going to stick to that. We've had the 3 academy failures that I just spoke about. We had 1 academy failure at Class 3 Advanced. Our training division has certified 6 Class 1 officers, so they've prepared and sent to the Criminal Justice Academy 6 individuals that have now started their career here in Lake City. And in addition to the 6 Class 1 officers, which is the patrol officers that you see and you deal with when you dial 911, that's who shows up. The guy that's dressed in blue over there. Our training division consists of 1 training lieutenant. He's trained 6 people and worked with them to get them through the academy. I think that's a pretty tall order for 1 individual to start 6 other careers based off of what he's done. He's also certified 4 Class 3 Advanced officers with academy training. We adopted that position as far as animal control and building and codes. We've expanded upon the TRU throughout the year. That's the telephone response units. They're the ones who are the Class 3 Advanced officers that work in the building that watch and monitor those cameras 24/7, the citywide cameras. So we expanded on that, and we plan to expand further in 2025 with a flock camera system, hopefully. Fingers crossed on that. We restarted our K-9 program and tracking team. Lake City's historically had K-9s for a long time. They've had that position within the budget for K-9s. Whether it was funded or not, it was always there. I can remember when I was in high school here in Lake City, Lake City had 2 K-9 officers. And then it kind of fell off and then it picked back up. So we restarted that. We purchased a K-9 and he's up and running. He's doing great things. He's already making cases. We created a community response team that consists of 4 officers and that said K-9. That team is designed to go hand in hand with these district meetings that we tried to start. We're going to kick those back off after the first of the year, and the police department is going to host them. We plan on hosting them here in the courtroom at the Senior Citizen Center or at LC 278 out on Cole Road. We're going to host them going from here on out, and what we will do is I'll make contact with each of the council members and say, look, what days are you available, and we'll try to plan it. The CRU, where they are, the community response team, where they come into play, is they will be at those meetings as well. If there's a problem within a district, that team goes in and they don't leave until the problem leaves. So if you've got a problem, they're the ones that's there to solve it. The patrol division, they're handling everything else that's going on. So you don't have to worry about a police officer coming to your problem and then having to go handle something else back and forth. Those guys are dedicated to that problem once they go in there. They're not leaving until it's done, until it's taken care of. That's what we wanted to do, and we were able to create that. Right now, we have 2 people on it. As we get people out of the academy, the other 2 will move to that team. So for 2025, again, we want to kick back off those community meetings we had kind of had to let that fall by the wayside a little bit for staffing. We had to make sure we were staffed. And then we wanted to create that team and have that up and running. Because we saw with the first few meetings that we've done that people were actually interested. We didn't know what kind of response we were going to get. There was a lot of people that was interested in that. So we had a pretty good turnout, and I didn't want to show up to the next one empty-handed. So that I wanted to show up and be able to put my money where my mouth was. So if I promised something, I could deliver on it. So that'll start back up after the first of the year. Again, we want to expand on the citywide cameras with the flock system. This is something I said in a meeting the other week. I would love to have cameras, live view cameras, monitored in there in the TRU room on every red light on 52, because we get our butts handed to us with traffic accidents right there. And if we have the ability to view those live when an accident happens, we'll be able to rewind them back and see what the cause of it was.
Right.
And do a proper investigation with it. And in addition to that, we want to expand on our equipment rotation. There's some old equipment that's, it's going to need to be rotated out this upcoming budget year. So we would like to start with that January 1, working on getting those numbers in order. That's all I have. I won't keep anybody any longer with speaking on that. I would appreciate it if the council members would take a minute and acknowledge the officers that are here. And for the Christmas holidays that are coming around, some safety tips. The females that carry pocketbooks or wallets, males as well, the fanny packs and all that good stuff. Don't leave them in your car. If you're going to put them in your car and lock your car up, don't leave them in the front seat. You're only going to get your windows broke if that happens. Put them in the trunk, preferably take them with you. If you've got nothing of value in your car, leave it unlocked. I mean, if they steal your car, you should have insurance, hopefully.
Get a new one.
Get you.
They put it in the trunk. A lot of cars have this little switch inside to unlock the trunk.
And on most of the newer cars, you still have to have the key close enough to get it. So, and be mindful, we're going to have our CRT team assigned to a lot of the business district throughout the holidays. They're going to be looking for armed robberies, purse snatchings, and all that stuff. I had an incident at Walmart a few nights ago. Was not in there as a police officer. Was in there shopping with my 4-year-old. We witnessed a guy breaking into the jury counter, and I had to sit back and watch it. I had to be a witness. I had my 4-year-old with me. I wasn't armed. I didn't have credentials on me. I was shopping. We were shopping, so called Sergeant Settles. He came and took care of the problem. The problem left with him. So we handled that. So it's just one of those things. Be mindful. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't walk around with large sums of money on you. Keep your purses locked away so they can't be seen in your cars and stuff like that. And if you need us, for the love of God, call us. It's 3 digits on the phone. We're here. We're getting paid. You're not bothering us, and you're not aggravating us. So call us. That's all we ask. And with that, I'll ask Officer McCants to at least come to the podium and give her a telephone number so everybody will have that.
How is everybody tonight?
Doing good.
So, like Chief Miles said, I'll be doing animal control and code enforcement. So I'll tie into both. Whether you need me in either position, you can give me a call. The phone number for that will be 843-939-8045. And if anybody has questions for me tonight, y'all can meet me after, and then I'll answer any question that anyone may have.
Thank
Repeat the
you.
number again.
843-939-8045.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And that's 24/7.
Oh, my God.
Mayor and council, these are the individuals. The CRT are the people that keep this building open 24/7. Remember, a year or so ago, these doors were locked at 5:30, and when people would come here, there was no response. Now when they come here, the doors are open, there's someone to help them, to at least call the sheriff or call someone over to assist them. That's all we have for you tonight, Mayor and Council. Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to say to the police department, I really do appreciate, we appreciate all that you do on a daily basis. We know that you're out there serving and protecting the city of Lake City. So we do appreciate you wherever you are, SROs in the schools, protecting our students, our children, not just out there on the streets within the city limits of Lake City, but you're in our schools, you're in the Boys and Girls Club, you're doing different events and programs to engage yourself and interact with our community, because we need that relationship between the community and the police force and law enforcement to be strong. We know that the community is your eyes and ears, and we wish and hope and pray that our community, the relationship between the community and law enforcement becomes better and stronger as the days go by. And I do want to say thank you for your leadership, Chief Miles. We really do appreciate you. Okay. We will not have executive session on tonight. Due to that, we had a few things to discuss. But since we have a newly elected council member who needs to be in these discussions, she will not be sworn in until January. So we are going to wait till January meeting to have this executive session. So next, we're going to move on to our mayor and council member reports. And we're going to start with Councilman Brown.
I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I want to thank our youth young ladies for coming out and giving their presentation and giving the mayor her gift. I wanted to make it to ice cream and cookies with the kids the other night, Miss Cynthia, but I had a family emergency, so I wasn't able to make it out there. But I seen y'all had a fantastic time. I looked at the pictures, liked them on Facebook. It was beautiful. I'm glad the kids enjoyed it. I want to thank Chief Miles on the situation that I had going on over there on Cemetery Street. He was very, very professional. Went over there and checked on the resident multiple times, sit and talked to him. Maybe had coffee with him. But I want to thank him for all he did with that situation. And I want to hats off to Mr. Rick Crew for the other night on Magnolia Street. They had a line bust. They've been out there in the frigid cold. 20-some degrees outside, and they worked out there all the way about 4 o'clock in the morning, man.
It was very late.
It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. So I want to give the hats off of them. Keep doing what you're doing, William. Other than that, everybody might not understand what we up here doing, but we up here doing our best to the ability that we can do, and we out here looking out for our citizens. It's all about the citizens at the end of the day. It's nothing about us. So I want everybody to keep that in the back of your mind, because we have to live here and work with everybody that live in this little small 2.3 square mile town. So I want everybody to take that into consideration. Other than that, that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Council.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Ms. Samella? Yes. I am your council person. And yes, ma'am. And I've taken notes about 218 Wilbur Street. So I will send out an email tonight, as soon as we get out of here, so that they can come back, hopefully in the morning, to rectify that problem, so that we won't have any situations with that going further. Hopefully it can be taken care of for a while and it won't get washed out by the rain. So that's one thing. Second thing, Ms. Rochelle, and everyone, could you please take out your phones? Because I want to give out my phone number. I want everyone, anybody to have that. That's why we have them. It's 843-598-3736. And then I'll give up my personal number to you personally, Rochelle, if you need anything going further. If there's anything that's going on in District 4, anything in Lake City that I can help with, you can always give me a call. I'm only a phone call away, an email away. So I am here for the citizens, and I am willing to work to do what I need to do to make sure everyone is taken care of. Just want to say also thank you to the young ladies from the youth leadership, and also your representative as well. Thanks for bringing them out to council meeting to give their presentations to us so that we know what is going on with the young ladies in Lake City, whether it's at J. Paul or at Lake City High School. So thank you for that. And that is it. I just wish that everyone stay safe during the holidays. I hope that everyone have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I just pray that everything will be better and on the up and up. Going forward, with council and with the citizens of Lake City to make sure that we're doing everything right for you guys. And that's it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
I mean, good job, Brown and Cooper. I mean, do I even have to say anything? But I just want to thank you guys for coming out. Also to Ms. Tatum and the ladies of the Leadership Club from Lake City High School. Thank you all for being here tonight. Hopefully we will see you guys more next year, addressing mayor and council. Also to the public, thank you all for coming out, voicing your concerns. I'm pretty sure we will see you guys next year, just like Ms. Rochelle said, she will be here the next meeting and the next meeting, so we will be here waiting. Be safe during the holidays. I think that's it. Yes, thank you all for coming out.
I can also echo what was said already, thanking everyone for coming this evening and just being a part of what we are all about. And again, the ladies that dedicated the time to make women in our city is well needed, and I commend y'all for doing that. And also, I'm glad all the police were here tonight so they can see me. See me? I'm the little old lady that sits here on the corner. But anyhow, thank y'all for your service. I certainly appreciate it. So when I call you, you know, come. Again, Chief, thank you, William, all of y'all. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I planned to pour some water on William tonight, but he didn't show up. But anyhow, I do appreciate the service that he have given to the city and be my neighbor here. And I wish all of you a Merry Christmas and looking forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Thank you, council members. I do want to say on part for Mr. Council Member William Askins, he could not be in attendance tonight due to something he was going to be, but due to something with his employment that he could not make it, and he did inform us ahead of time. So this would have been his last full meeting with us, but he will be here to pass the baton to our newly elected councilwoman, Melissa Askins, in January. And that meeting, we will have a swearing-in ceremony here right before the 6 o'clock meeting for our newly elected and for our re-elected council members. Thank everyone for coming out here tonight. I really do appreciate everybody for coming out and viewing on Facebook. I strongly encourage you to continue to do so. This is the only way that you're going to stay engaged and stay informed on what's happening in our city of Lake City. Please continue to come and encourage others to do the same. I want to thank the young ladies from Lake City High School and from J. Paul for coming out. I thank them for a gift, unexpected gift. But I thank them most importantly for their leadership, and I thank you for showing them the way and to continue to show them the way. And we all need to do the same because the young people are watching us at all times, and we need to lead by example. Thanks to Tree for South Carolina presentation by Ms. Lisa Jones and Kayla Hodges, who are part of our staff. Thanks to the ones who came up and for their public comments. I would like to not really address it at this moment. I would like to sit with all of you who came up for public comment. I would like to sit with you face to face and let's have a conversation. Thanks to all who partaked in making sure we had a successful Christmas parade. The tree lighting, all of that was great over this past weekend. Hometown holidays, I hope some of you were able to get out and see the festivities that was going on in the city of Lake City this past weekend. And plus, at LC 278, we had the cookies and ice cream from the Recreation Department, Miss Cynthia. Great idea. It was a great turnout with the families and the children. I enjoyed myself. My girls. My girls came and they enjoyed themselves. I think Taylor had a little bit too much ice cream, but she's good. Also, please keep updated with the updates on Facebook that we place on Facebook, and by phone's message. We're doing our best to keep you notified and to keep you informed with any activity that's going on in the city of Lake City, either if it's events or water line breaks or such. We know that sometimes a lot of people are not on Facebook to get that information, but we're trying to work to get that information out to you better and in a timely manner, so you would know if you come home, if your water is off and why. It's because of a situation of a water line break or etc. But know that our crews are out there working diligently to make sure that these issues are taken care of in a timely manner. But please do go on our website. You can opt in to get these notifications. We will be having more information out about that, so you can be informed at all times. I thank everyone for their continuous support and involvement to making sure that we work together here in the city of Lake City. We're all human. We all make mistakes when we're not perfect. We have to work together to make sure that our city moves forward. It's not on one person's shoulders. It's not on one department's shoulders. It's not on one organization, not one community on this side of the track or that side of the track. Us all have to come together. First, we have to look at ourselves first. We have to look at ourselves first and ask the question what we're doing before we say what she or he are not doing. So we have to do a self-evaluation first and say, am I doing all that I need to do to make sure that the city of Lake City is moving forward? Before I say that he or she is not doing what they are supposed to not be doing. So I ask everyone to please, let's do that self-evaluation before we go into 2025 so we can make this city the best possible city that it can be. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Remember the reason for the season, and that is Jesus Christ. He gave his life for us, and we should be happy in the life that he has given us and to live it happily. We have a great city here. So many people are looking at the city of Lake City to come here to live, to come here to bring their businesses, to come here to build. We are really on the map, literally. Almost every day we're getting calls for someone to meet with us to talk about expanding here in Lake City. They're hearing great things in Lake City. So we need to be proud. We know that we have different things and different issues that we need to take care of. Like every municipality have holes in the roads, potholes and abandoned buildings and all those type of problems, because all the different mayors and the council members that I talk to around the nation, not just the state, but the nation, we have so many similarities, more similarities than differences. And we try to put our head together, no matter if it's a 6,000 population or 25,000 population. We have the same problems, and they're trying to figure out the same way we're trying to figure out. But as long as we keep our heads and put our heads together, and especially show our young people, because they're going to be the ones that's going to be taking it up behind us, we can make this work, and we will make this work. So I appreciate everyone here tonight, and I need a motion to adjourn. So moved. Thank you.
Second. Yeah. Second.